Yo, what's up guys? It's the Hood Ninja back with another video. We hit 100 subscribers. We even surpassed that, 125. I want to thank you all for getting me to 100 subs. And thank you guys for commenting. I read all of your comments and it makes me really happy that you guys like my videos. Some of you guys have been requesting longer vids, so I made this one around 20 minutes-ish. My mic hasn't been working, so that's another reason I haven't been posting as consistently as I said. And just a warning, it's going to be a little low in the beginning, but it picks up through. I'm about rambling at this point, so let's get into the video. We start off on planet Vegeta, but not the one we know of. To make this what if work, I'm gonna go back a bit further, all the way to Yamoshi's time. A few days prior to the fight with the evil Saiyans, Yamoshi and his comrades are coming up with a contingency plan in case they die to the evil Saiyans. So they decide they want their children to escape, so even if they fail here, someone will keep trying. Yamoshi's worried, but agrees. While the Saiyans talk through their children for what they think may be the last time, Yamoshi tells all of them to stay strong and pursue a better future, a more peaceful future. This would cause the children to tear up, but also ignite a fire in them. As the days pass, Yamoshi would turn into the Super Saiyan God like the canon, but fall to the evil Saiyans, as well as his comrades. For years to come, the descendants of Yamoshi and his comrades passed down the beliefs and values to each generation. And eventually, some of the good Saiyans managed to send their children off-world. About the same time as Frieza takes control, so they don't really know who he is. The three children are sent off-world to a planet called Earth. These children are named Kale, Kaba, and Caulifla. Now you guys are probably wondering, out of all the descendants of Yamoshi, why were they chosen? Well, they don't have tails. The other good Saiyans decide since maybe they don't look entirely Saiyan, they would go off radar and potentially form a society somewhere else. Now that the Saiyans arrive on Earth, where exactly do they land? I'll have Kaba land with Gohan, and Kale and Caulifla land with Roshi, since I like that sister dynamic they have in the anime. And besides the Universe 6 Saiyans landing on Earth, nothing else really changes. We have Broly getting sent to Vampa, Planet Vegeta getting destroyed, and Goku getting sent to Earth as well. So let's jump right back into the story. As Goku arrives on Earth, he's greeted not just by Gohan, but a 5-year-old Kaba as well. They're both interested, and Gohan notices that this is the same ship Kaba came in. He wonders if they're from the same place. But as he picks up the baby Goku, he notices a tail. This shocks the both of them. But the tail seems kind of familiar to Kaba, and he doesn't know why. Gohan decides to take Goku in and train him alongside Kaba. A couple years pass, we're now at the start of Dragon Ball, and Goku still hits his head like in canon, and is still named Goku. Gohan's alive, thanks to the efforts of him and Kaba fighting off a Grade 8 Goku. As for Kaba, he's kinda like an older brother figure to Goku, and a rival. As we know, Goku is a prodigy, and he would constantly want to fight and spar. The two are constantly pushing each other to new heights, and one day, amidst a sparring match by the lake, they encounter a young girl around Kaba's age. She introduces herself as Bulma. Kaba's pretty shy, as this is the first time he's ever talked to a girl, or even seen one. Goku's on guard, like in canon, asking Bulma a bunch of questions, like, is her car a monster or something? Then Bulma just asks, what are they doing in the forest? They say they live there with their grandpa. Bulma then asks, have they seen this orb, called the Dragon Ball? Goku says her grandpa has something like that, so the trio head back to Gohan's to get the ball. As they get the Dragon Ball from Gohan's, Kaba asks what it's for. She then explains what they do, and says they grant wishes. This interests the both of them, and Goku has to come along. She agrees as she hopes Kaba will come too, since she's interested in boys around this time, and she thinks he's kinda cute. Kaba decides to come since his brother's going, and they all set out on their journey. Now guys, I'm pretty sure up to the point they meet Roshi, everything would be like the canon. So let's skip to that part. The Turtle Hermit introduces himself and thanks the two for saving his turtle. He rewards him with the Nimbus and the Power Pole. They both can ride it since they're both pure of heart. The two boys thank him and asks, "Are you the same Roshi Gohan told us about?" Roshi asks what's the relation to Gohan was. And he says and they say he's their grandfather. Roshi's surprised and asks what they like to train with him sometimes. They agree and say they'll swing by after they find the Dragon Balls. Then the trio set out again. Once again, nothing else changes. Goku meets Chi-Chi, like the canon. They make their promise that Goku doesn't understand at all. Roshi uses Kamehameha to put out the fire on Oxygene's castle, and Goku and Kappa land it from just seeing it. And enemies like the Pilaf gang are no threat since Goku would be stronger in this what if. And Kappa's there too. So the gang summons Shenron, and instead of wishing for a boyfriend, Momo works up the courage and talks to Kappa, and asks him out. This makes Yamcha a bit sad, so he just leaves. Kappa's kinda shy, but agrees, since I feel he's smarter than Goku and knows what like a girlfriend and partner would be, since he's a bit older and Gohan's alive. Skipping ahead, Kappa and Goku start heading over to Master Roshi's, while Bulma heads back to West City for a bit, to take a break from all the adventuring. As Kappa and Goku arrive on the island, they notice two girls already training. Kappa walks over to them and introduces himself and Goku. They don't really care, and then before Kappa can ask, "Is Roshi here?" Goku cuts him off and asks to spar with one of them. Caulifla is excited by the challenge, and wants to test her mettle against this guy, see if he's strong. They have a pretty even match, though Caulifla has the edge, and in the midst of their fight, Roshi comes and says, "Stop." Then he introduces the two girls as his grandchildren and students. Goku's excited to have more people to train with, and Roshi's excited to see his students progress, and he decides for them to all have a sparring match, the two brothers versus the two sisters. This battle is pretty even, though the sisters have the advantage since they have a move up their sleeves, the Kamehameha. This surprises the two brothers as they dodge a blast by a hair. Then Goku and Kappa fire one back. This shocks Roshi as it took him 50 years to develop that. Now 4 people have learned it with ease, all children. As the match continues, the groups notice a small boat approaching the island, who we all know is Krillin. He introduces himself and asks to train. Roshi just agrees, as it couldn't hurt to have one more pupil. As the months pass, the 5 students of Roshi have gotten incredibly strong, and are going to participate in the World Martial Arts Tournament. With that said, let's get into power levels. Goku started Dragon Ball with a power level of 10, but in this what if he has multiple people he's constantly training with, so I'm gonna put him around 150. Krillin would be training even harder since he'd really want to keep up with his new friends, so I'd put him about 100. Roshi's 175, but 210 with his max power form. The Universe 6 Saiyans have incredible potential, like Super Saiyan Kaba was keeping up with Super Saiyan Vegeta in the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament. So yeah, it goes to say that their potential is incredible, but for story's sake, I'm gonna make them a bit weaker. The low gravity would probably hinder their potential as well. So Kaba would be around 200, and Caulifla would be around 220, and Kale would be around 200 as well. So even with Kaba. With that out of the way, let's jump back into the story. Now, we have an additional 3 people to this roster for the tournament, so it'd be way different than in canon. It goes to say that the 5 students of Roshi are guaranteed to pass the prelims, so let's hop into the main roster. Goku vs. Nam would still take place, but it would be a main fight, unlike their prelim fight. Now we have Caulifla vs. Kaba in the second fight, Kill vs. Krillin in the third fight, and Jackie Chun vs. Yamcha in the fourth fight. Goku vs. Nam would go like their semi-final. Oh wait, it was a semi-final match. Goku vs. Nam would go like their semi-final match in canon in the beginning of the fight, but then Goku would overpower him since he's way stronger in this what if. So he would overpower Nam and eventually win the match. Caulifla vs. Kaba is really one of the most intense fights of the tournament. Caulifla is fighting really aggressively and putting Kaba on the defensive most of the fight. The sheer power of these two is breaking the arena. Caulifla decides it's time to end this, and both her and Kaba prepare a Kamehameha. But Kaba's stance is a bit off. He fires his new move. He screams, "Gallic Cannon!" which surprises Caulifla, and this shock is enough to catch her off guard and shoot her out of bounds. Kaba wins the second match. After the match is over, Caulifla asks, "What is this move?" Kaba says he wanted to create his own technique, something to branch off from the usual Kamehameha. It's called the Gallic Cannon. He offers to teach it to her, but she says she wants to try and create her own technique too. Now for the third fight. Kale versus Krillin. Even though they're both equally skilled, Kale overpowers Krillin pretty easily and wins this match. Now for the fourth beginner match. Jackie Chun versus Yamcha. And Jackie Chun wins pretty quickly. Think about it like Yamcha versus Kami or an Assume Disguise hero, but a little less comedic. Now, time for the semifinals, guys. Goku versus Kaba. In this semifinal match is a battle between two brothers. And during this matchup, it's pretty clear that Kaba is stronger. But Kaba's focusing on training Goku. He wants to see where his brother's at, where he's grown to. And the match is pretty good, but Kaba ultimately knocks Goku out of bounds. Now for Kale versus Jackie Chun. Kale is pretty confident in her skills, as opposed to her canon self. She's constantly sparring with her new friends as she prepares to fight Jackie Chun. She asks him something that shocks him. "Grandpa, why are you wearing this costume?" Roshi explains why, and she says she'll keep it a secret from the other two, Kaba and Goku, because she's pretty sure Caulifla would notice this to Roshi too. The two have a pretty good match. Kale has the advantage, but Roshi transforms into his max power stakes, which makes things a little bit more even. Roshi's still a bit outmatched, but uses a Thunder Shock Surprise on Kale to weaken her and try to get her to surrender. But she doesn't give up. Weakened, Kale readies a Kamehameha. She seemingly hits Roshi head on, but then he appears behind her and knocks her out of bounds. Roshi congratulates her. He says, "You did a good job, but you still have a lot to learn." Now with that out of the way, we are in the final match, Roshi versus Kaba. Now here, I think Kaba will win pretty easily. Roshi went all out against Kale, and he's not a Saiyan. He doesn't get stronger after each fight. And Kaba's fought like 2 Saiyans in this past tournament, so I'm pretty sure he would grow. A bit. Not much, but a bit. So, Roshi would still put up a somewhat decent fight, but Kaba ultimately wins. Kaba is now the champion of the World Martial Arts Tournament. After the tournament, the gang run over to congratulate Kaba, and Bulma kisses him too. Roshi's proud of his students, especially Kaba. He asks everyone, "Do you know why Kaba won?" They all look over confused. It's because he has his own style. Power isn't all that matters, it's skill, and knowledge too. With this in mind, after the gang celebrates, they decide to split up and train by themselves to develop their own skills. Unknown to them, there's a new threat on the rise. About a year passes and everyone's training's going great. A lot of things have happened the past year. Goku meets Tien and Chaozu, and defeats the Red Ribbon Army. Kaba and Bulma have been spending a lot more time together, and Caulifla and Kale have spent less time together due to them focusing on their training. They both really miss each other though. Roshi contacts everyone about the upcoming World Martial Arts Tournament, and that goes pretty similar to the last tournament, with the addition of Tien and Chaozu to the roster. Everyone's gotten stronger, so it's not 100% clear who'll win. But this video's getting kinda long, so I'll breeze through this tournament real quick. But before that, let me cover our main 5's new power levels and skill sets. Okay, Goku's finally broken the 200 power levels, and Kaba's around 250. Now, Caulifla's around 252, as well due to her focusing more on techniques like Roshi said. And Kale's power level is 240, though she does have a rage boost similar to Gohan in DBZ. Let's say she gets around 350 with a rage boost. Now for the humans. Krillin's at 180, due to him training a lot more, and Roshi's at 200, and he's about 265, let's say 265 with his max power level, with his max power form, since he'd probably be training to keep up with his students. Everyone's gotten incredibly strong since the last tournament. Now, with the power levels out of the way, I'm gonna jump straight into the winner of this tournament. Uh, I think it might surprise some of you guys, or some of you guys may have guessed based on power. And yeah, Roshi wins this tournament. Because I feel his secret training helped him keep up with everyone. Like, his power level is about 200, 200 in base. But with his max power form, he gets to around 265. And he's been trying harder this tournament since he wants to teach his students a lesson in defeat. Like he taught Goku before in canon. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, he still disguises Jackie Chan, guys, so the other 3 Saiyans don't know it's Roshi. They all head over to eat and celebrate, and yeah, that prize money is gone, guys. 4 Saiyans, a feast, 4 people eating like Goku. Probably a bit more well-mannered, but 4 Saiyans. Roshi's probably in debt at this point. Anyways, everything is good until Goku's remembers he forgot his power pool and the Dragon Ball. Krillin offers to go get it, so Goku thanks him, but has a bad feeling. As Krillin arrives, Tambourine attacks him, but Krillin dodges it, appearing behind him and kicking him into a wall. This infuriates Tambourine. He's about to attack Krillin, then Krillin asks, why do you have the Dragon Balls? He says it's for his master, King Piccolo. Krillin decides it might be best to take this guy out. So he powers up and decides to try out his new technique he's created, the Destructo Disc, and fires it at Tambourine, slicing him in half. And Krillin goes to get the Dragon Balls from Tambourine's corpse, and Goku arrives and asks him what happened. He said this guy tried to kill him, and the two chat a bit as the others arrive, and Krillin explains what happened. The guy mentions someone named King Piccolo being his boss. Roshi is shocked and explains who he is, and they decide they need to take him down, but they need to figure out how to find him. Goku says he can't get his wish without this Dragon Ball. Roshi agrees and says he'll have to come to them to get the wish. But then Kaba says, why don't we just go to him? If he has the Dragon Balls, we can use the radar to track him. They're all shocked at this plan and how they didn't see it in hindsight, so they all decide to set out and fight him. About an hour passes as the group confront King Piccolo. King Piccolo is shocked but expecting this, since he could sense Tambourine's death. Goku wants to be the first to fight him, and they have a pretty even fight at first, but then King Piccolo starts to overpower Goku. But Goku just doesn't let up, and keeps attacking King Piccolo. King Piccolo fires a King Blast, enough to put Goku out of commission. For the time being, he's not dead, but he's pretty injured. Kaba's getting mad about what happened to his brother, but before he could even act on his emotions, Kale is starting to get angry too, and charges at King Piccolo. This catches him off guard. The two are pretty even, but Kale has upper hand. Her energy is rising as they continue to fight. Kale fires a barrage of Ki blasts, almost annihilating King Piccolo. But he does have that split second before he dies to fire an egg out containing Piccolo Jr. King Piccolo is defeated, and the Z-Fighters have won. In the aftermath of this fight, they get a telepathic message from an unknown voice, saying, come to Corn's Tower. I'll be waiting above there to train you all. The group's a bit wary, but decide to go, because it could be fun. Caulifla and Goku definitely seen the merits and are excited at the opportunity. But in these new peacetime, Kaba decides to hang out with Bulma for a while, causing him to lag behind in terms of power. But the other 4, Goku, Caulifla, and Krillin and Kale head straight over there. They meet up with Kami, mistaking him for King Piccolo, but he explains who he is, and how they're the same person. With their introductions out of the way, their training commences. Now guys, I'm gonna get into the Piccolo Jr. saga in the next vid, as well as the Raditz saga. So be sure to tell me some input in the comments. Also, who do you guys think Goku should marry? If you made it this far, who do you guys think Goku should marry? Chi-Chi or Caulifla? Or even Kale? I'm open to suggestions. So tell me, what do you guys think? This is Hit Ninja. Peace out.